Doctor Who, a show of endless stories across all of time and space. Yet it's those most human of all we often become attached to, some of which we hope to see again, yet they never make another appearance. And no, I'm not talking about the human cacti, sorry, Vinvoci. I'm talking about the one-off Wilfs, the brief Brigadiers, and the righteous Roderick's we wish could return. Today, we count down the top 5 one-off characters I want to return. I suppose it's worth mentioning that I'm avoiding talking about those characters that died with the Doctor, or who appeared in multiple episodes. So sorry, but the fabulous Captain Jack and Kylie Minogue are a no-go. Anyway, heading straight into number 5. We have Tommy. Tommy was once a young boy who stood up to his abusive father and helped the Doctor battle the Wire in the Idiot's Lantern.
Of shimmering cloth of gold, lined with crimson silk. Are you willing to do the same?
However, I'd like to know what he's doing now. What mischief has he got up to, and how could he aid the Doctor again? Helpful, instinctive comments led to the Doctor deducing things like we often see with his companions.
Is that why you did it, Dad?
What do you mean? Did what?
You ratted on Gran. How else would the police know where to look?
And he was able to help save Rose and his Nan. Perhaps he was able to save his idiot father too, after Rose suggested he ran after him. Maybe we could see Tommy sticking up for what's right and helping with the rise of feminism 10 years later. This political setting might suit Chinball's writing style with Jodie too. Anyway, let's move on to number 4. For number 4, I've decided to go in for another adolescent male, having appeared in one of the scariest New Who episodes to date, Jethro Kane.
My name's Jethro.
My name's Jethro.
Now, on the surface, he came across as the usual rebellious teenager, ashamed of his embarrassing parents. But something about Merlin's curious and inquisitive attitude...
Like it's passed into the Doctor, it's transferred, whatever it is. It's gone inside him.
Realisation that panic is pointless...
Just stop it!
An ability to say anything except...
That's impossible. That's impossible. That's impossible.
makes me like him as a character. Besides the Doctor and Claude...
So who are you? Claude, I'm the mechanic.
He's the only other passenger who doesn't get on my nerves. I feel like a visit back to the planet Midnight, if done well, could work, as there are so many questions left to explore. The mysterious entity could be back, and Jethro's been trying to track it since. The only issue is we've seen a similar episode quite recently with Jay and Benny. Number 3. Our very own Catwoman, Christina de Souza, a very confident aristocrat with a hunger for adrenaline. Their chemistry was explosive for the short time they spent together.
Did I say I hated you? I was lying.
Sorry, but what on earth is that clap? And we were so close to having another companion there and then. This could have changed the entire dynamic by having someone who wasn't inherently nice and added some needed spice to Who. Even if it was only for a short while, they could have made
The perfect team.
This episode ended when the Doctor helped her escape the law in a final bittersweet moment. However, this does leave us with the possibility for future appearances. Personally, I think her and Jenny would have made a kick-ass crime-fighting duo for a spin-off. I'd even settle for lovely Malcolm. Getting ever closer, we move on to our number 2 spot. The TARDIS.
Wait a minute.
What did you say?
Yes, that's right, the TARDIS. But I'm talking about sexy. The abundantly charismatic human portrayal embodies the TARDIS in a way I didn't think would ever work. She was similar in erratic behaviour, but it worked alongside the Doctor. I'm not sure if it was the fabulous acting by Suran Jones.
I just wanted to say hello. Hello, Doctor. It's so very, very nice to meet you. Please.
Or the wonderful script by the Neil Gaiman that got me so hooked on this character, but I'd love to see a possible return. Perhaps Idris could be herself before she became a host, or maybe she could return in some Bad Wolf style. Either way, I feel like it would be intriguing to see her act alongside Jodie's representation of the Doctor. Before we get on to my final choice of one-off companions I'd like to see, I have just a few honourable mentions I'd like to go through. Now, by a few, I really mean
I have millions.
Elton should return, if only to see him take on another ELO hit. Renette was perfect, though technically dead, and would have probably only worked with Tennant. After all, they had that IRL dating chemistry. Godspeed, my lonely angel. I want to see Ravio and Graham together. You know what, I liked that episode, and I like their chemistry, and I want to see them go together, like eggs and ham. Also, while we're at it, why not any of the Bannerman Road gang? How is Luke? How is Rani? I want to see them all back in the episodes, why not? Sally Sparrow was almost a proper companion, but she actually turned down the role. And finally, I want Grumio to be alive. Cool. Is that it? Yeah. Now let's move on to our number one pick. Who's it going to be? That's right, you all expected it. It is, of course, none other than Council Kell.
No! You stop! You just took a council axe from a council van and now you're digging up a council road! I'm reporting you to the council!
How I wish it was true. Now, here we have arguably one of the most competent one-offs, Perkins. Someone dubious of the Doctor at first.
Well, I know that when I find a man fiddling with a chair that someone died in, it's best to play my cards close to my chest.
Someone not afraid to add a real human element.
1 minute with me and this thing, it won't be over!
You know, Doctor, I can't tell if you're a genius or just incredibly arrogant.
Perkins shows that he is smart himself and offers lots of good information throughout the episode.
But why take 66 seconds to drain as well as just pounce?
Phase. Moving energy out of phase, that takes about a minute, doesn't it?
That's why only the victims can see it.
The Doctor actually ended up offering Perkins a very tempting offer to join him, but he politely declined after Perkins realised how much it could change him as a person. But a return for an adventure or two could still work. I mean, Frank Skinner said he'd drive back to Cardiff himself to reappear in the show.
I don't want to get greedy, but yes, if they asked, I am prepared to drive myself to Cardiff.
So why can't we have him back? I feel like the character would work well alongside Jodie in the same way that Graham does. I would love to see an episode where the rest of the companions aren't around, with the episode strongly focusing on the Doctor and her intellect, something akin to Voyage of the Damned or Waters of Mars. With a Perkins pop-up, it might give Jodie some time to shine, and for the character to finally become hers. Hopefully you agreed with some of my choices, but if you didn't, that's absolutely fine. What I would love to see is, who do you want to return? Which characters do you want back? Please write a comment down below and maybe we can have a discussion and let me know what you'd like to see next.